What's up, guys? We back at it again. Episode number 20 or episode number 1 of the new Thrive Daily Show. Call it what you want. We're out here doing it again. Consistency is the key. No, just kidding. But so today, guys, we're going to talk about something that I've been thinking about for a while, and it's why people like jiu-jitsu, right? Why people get into Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Now, man, if you know anyone that trains jiu-jitsu and is in like the jiu-jitsu world, there's this oh, jiu-jitsu saved my life, jiu-jitsu saved my life, jiu-jitsu, right? They love it. They're crazy for that stuff, man. And what's the allure? Why do people get into it? So I'm going to just shed a little bit of light on it, my point of view. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing it 20 years deep, more than 20 years. Started in 1999. And I'll tell you, I think jiu-jitsu is like kind of a primal kind of thing, right? I'm trying to slide. I hope it doesn't kill us or something like that. Well, here we go. All right. So jiu-jitsu is kind of like this primal thing that, people dig, right? And on a deeper sense, not to sound like one of those kind of guys, but really, it's about death. And I think that in a lot of ways, jiu-jitsu is an acceptance of death. And it gives a closeness to death, right? And let me just go on and rap about that for a second. So, look, Hollywood, horror movies, roller coaster rides, UFCs, martial arts, boxing, right? All these kind of things are things that bring us close to death, or as close to death as possible. Like we see, you go on a roller coaster, you're like, bro, you're on the top of that roller coaster, you're like, man, I could die right now, and it's thrilling, right? It's like this the great unknown. It's the great unknown, but it's something 100% guaranteed to happen to all of us. We are all going to die at some point. There's no escaping it. Me personally, I'm trying to live long enough to get to that human threshold where we kind of, extend our life by a couple hundred years. I don't want to go yet. No, true story though. But humans have a fascination with death, or a fascination with the closeness of death, right? Scary movies, right? We like being scared. We like to think, man, I could die, man, or like, wow, what if this came to be? And like they like the fear, just that kind of primal urge that humans like. It just gets into you. I don't know, right? You go watch a UFC, you go watch a boxing match, and you see somebody get knocked out, KTFO, right? Someone get like slept, and we're like, man, did we just watch a death? Even back in the day, people would gather together in the Wild West and watch people get like hung, like that was the thing. Or even in medieval Europe, it would be, let's get the family together and watch an execution and have a picnic after. Like, it was crazy, right? So humans have kind of always had this like fascination with death, right? And in jiu-jitsu, it's probably one of the closest combat sports you can come to, where you can literally be in, possibly the greatest harm available in terms of like sports, very quickly and very readily, without dying, right? And I think that for people that train, having that power, having that ability to know that, man, I could inflict this upon someone else, right? It's really alluring. And on the flip side, I think that giving yourself the ability to be vulnerable and giving yourself the ability to bring yourself that close to death is really liberating. I think a lot of times people gather so much and they get all this wealth and they work so hard and they just go so hard because they want to get everything before they die, right? Or I think one of the principles of Buddhism is they talk about you can go down to all things that cause grief, and in turn it would be something that is selfish, right? Like, I've had very close friends that were murdered, and it's hard, and it's very sad, and it's very, if you've lost somebody, it feels like a little piece of you is gone, right? Like for anyone who's lost anybody really close, friend of mine that was murdered in front of his family. They went on a home invasion. They thought he had a bunch of drugs. He didn't. They were pointing guns at his family and stuff like that. He made the conscious decision to try to fight him. You know, he felt that was the best thing to do, and he lost his life because of that. You know, I mean, what are you gonna say, right? You can't. You're in that situation. What are you gonna do, right? You know, who knows? Who knows, right? He gambled his life, and he lost his life, but his family's okay. So what are you gonna do, right? And for a long time, you can be really angry about that. I was really angry. You know, no one got caught. They got all the cops and whatever. You know, fun fact, police actually don't catch a lot of murderers, guys. Fun fact, if you didn't know that, the crime catching rate is pretty low. True story. Google it. All right? And so, it wasn't until I was able to accept it, and it wasn't until I was able to, like, really embrace it, and then be grateful for the time that I had with this person. It was a good friend of mine, you know? That I was okay with it, right? And I think that, in a lot of ways, jiu-jitsu, putting yourself in that vulnerability, in that vulnerable state, and really just allowing yourself to be like, man, you know what happens today happens today. It's a liberating feeling, man. It's a liberating feeling. And I think that for people with big egos, for people that, you know, are into sports and you know, people that like a challenge, it's super alluring, and it's life-changing. You know, it becomes the all-encompassing, right? And it's a way to escape from the BS of your day. It's a way to get an amazing workout. It's a way to stimulate your mind. It's a great way to bond with people, because when you're training and you're choking each other out and arm barring each other and slamming each other, right? There's a certain trust that you build. Like I always tell people, like, it's almost like this fraternity brotherhood of people that train jiu-jitsu. And you can go anywhere in the world and not even understand a word these people say. But if you train, there's like a secret hidden language of, you know, respect and mutual honor for one another. And it's pretty cool. And if you're in the jiu-jitsu club, you get to do stuff like that. So I think this is my personal take on it. You know, I mean, I've been thinking a lot about like why jiu-jitsu is important and why people like to do it and stuff like that. And I think that at a primal level, like the death aspect of it is a big part of it, whether it's conscious or unconscious. But once you kind of accept these things, and once you like are able to embrace it, and once you're able to just say, look, you know, things are finite, and either I'm going to win this match or I'm going to lose this match. You know, it's a pretty special thing, man. It's a great mindset to be in, and it allows you freedom. It allows you to accept what is inevitable. Right? And at the same time, in a way, you can create your own future, right? And by that, I mean, like, you can live your life without fear, man. Like, you know, I remember when I started training, I was a skinny guy. I'm still a skinny guy. I was skinnier than I am now. But I remember just having a feeling of power, like, man, dude, I do this stuff with my friends, I do this stuff, these guys are bigger than me. I'm like, wow, this stuff works, man. And not having that fear allowed me to branch out into other things. You know, I met a bunch of awesome people who traveled the world, you know, gone all these places by myself, gone all these places with my daughter, and it's pretty cool, man. And I don't think having jiu-jitsu in my life, I don't know if I would have that, right? I think there was a time when I wasn't training, and I was like 20, and I was like 26, something like that, 25, and I was working this job, and I was making a lot of money, and I was drinking, and I was partying, and I had another business at the time. I had like this t-shirt business, making shirts and stuff like that, and I was working, like, man, a lot, and I was like, I made all this money, and I was like, man, I'm miserable, dude. Like, I do not like this. This is not fun. Like, I'm missing something. You know, I need something, right? And I got back into jiu-jitsu and I found it. And, you know, 10 years later, 20 years later, 15 years later, we out here doing it, you know what I'm saying? So, think about that, you know? Go train. Give it a shot, man. Try jiu-jitsu. You know, it's humbling, it's painful, it's brutal, it's grueling, it's demoralizing. Really, it's so fun. It's so fun, guys. No, but it really is all those things. But I think a closeness to those things and an embrace of those things, on the other end, you come out confident, you come out with a skill, you come out with a camaraderie, you come out with a brotherhood, a sisterhood, you come out with a deeper understanding of yourself, you come out with an ability to know what your limitations are and to push your limitations and in a lot of ways exceed what you thought were your limitations, right? It's almost like the 4-minute mile. Like, people didn't believe you could run faster than a 4-minute mile. For the longest time, they didn't believe it was humanly possible. Until one guy did it, I forgot his name, but he runs a 4-minute mile, and then people started believing it, and now you got high school kids running the 4-minute mile, you know, or Tony Hawk did the 720, right? People thought it was such a big deal. Oh, he did a 720. Again, you got like middle school kids out here doing whatever it is, double it, half of it, I don't know, but they're doing it because they believe they can do it. And putting yourself in a situation like, man, I'm a skinny dude, there's no way I can choke out this big guy. And you learn the technique and you do it, and then wow, holy cow, if I could do this, imagine what else I could do. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Here we are, thrive daily, do it daily. Thrive, don't just live, don't go through the motions. That's what we're about on the wristband. When you come to the gym, you get one of these cool things. Thrive daily, don't want to crash the car here. But check us out. We on YouTube, haywardmma.com. If you want to get some jiu-jitsu in your life, come on down. It's a lot of fun. Man, have at it. I really think it would be great, whether it's with us, whether you're on the side of the world, somewhere else. If you're thinking about doing it, man, definitely go do it, because it's an amazing thing to get into. Fail at it a bunch of times, get beat up a bunch of times. It's pretty much inevitable. Again, check us out if you're in the Hayward area, haywardmma.com. We're on YouTube now. We got our YouTube channel, episode number 20, Thrive Daily Show, and then we're on Instagram. So with that said, man, if you have anything to say, leave it in the comments. If you think what I'm talking about is interesting, man, share with somebody, talk about it. It's an amazing kind of thing. And with that said, thank you so much, guys. Good night. We'll see you later.